clubs in her native Somerset when she was 17. After a long break, she was returned to her passion, and as well as unaccompanied singing, now sings as part of a duo with Jack Barnaby and is a member of girl group Three Drunken Maidens. She performs regularly at Sharp's Folk Club. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So this is a brief history of women's work songs, from Hebridean walking songs to the Campaign for Equal Pay. And it came out of some research that I started. Which one, this one?
No, I'm not going to use my board.
Oh, right. Thanks. Yeah. It came out of some research that I started into finding an equivalent, a female equivalent, for the sea shanty. Sea shanties are very particular sorts of songs because they developed specifically to help sailors working communally to synchronise activity on specific physical tasks. So that might be turning the capstan, pumping water, hoisting the sail, or scrubbing salt off decks. And they developed in the 19th century. That's when they were really sort of very popular. Alison's going to sing an example of a 4-sheet shanty now, or a sweating up shanty, which would enable sailors to do activities that required small bursts of activity and then one great big burst of force. So in this example, the great big burst of force is on Joe at the end of each chorus. So it would be Joe, and you can all sing along with us on the chorus.
Away, haul away, we'll haul away the bowling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Away, haul away, the packages are rolling. Way, haul away, Joe. Way, haul away, we'll haul away together. Way, haul away, Joe. Way, haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way, haul away, Joe. Geordie Charlton had a pig and it was double jointed. Away, haul away, Joe. He took it to a blacksmith shop to get his trotters pointed. Away, haul away, Joe. King Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Away, haul away, Joe. King Louis got his head cut off and spoiled his constitution. Away, haul away, Joe. Oh, when I was a little boy, and so me mother told me, away, haul away, Joe. That if I didn't kiss the girls, me lips would all go mouldy. Away, haul away, Joe. Oh, once I had a scolding wife, she wasn't very civil. Away, haul away, Joe. I clapped a plaster on her mouth and sent her to the devil. Away, haul away, Joe.
So sea shanties really vary in content, but they're very often not about the work itself, which is similar to the Hebridean walking song, walking spelled W-A-U-L-K-I-N-G. And these songs have been sung for a long time, but particularly from the late 16th, early 17th century onwards. And it's only really in the Hebrides that songs been so closely associated with walking. Walking is the practice of beating newly woven cloth. So 8 to 10 women would sit around a table or a board and beat cloth that would have been soaked in urine, which acted as a mordant, which sets the dye of the tweed, and they'd move the cloth around, beating it in a clockwise direction. And again, yeah, they hardly ever mention the work itself. So we're going to play a brief excerpt on the TV here from Inverclyde Walking Song Group, and it's a song called Hi O, and it was taken from Flora McNeil from Barra.
Give us a minute, please.
obviously it's sung in Gaelic, but the English translation of that is it's actually a song about a young girl being raped, which I thought was quite surprising when I read the translation. The next sort of song I wanted to talk about is the lullaby, because this can be seen absolutely as a working song in both a waged and unwaged context. Folk tradition is often seen as a domestic tradition because song is passed on often through women singing around the house. And the rhythm of the lullaby is quite obvious, you know, swaying or rocking a cradle, trying to get a baby to sleep or pacify it. Alison is going to sing a classic English lullaby now by Baby Bunting, which follows the format of a reward for good behaviour, so a soft rabbit skin for sleep.
Bye, Baby Bunting, Daddy's gone a-hunting, gone to fetch a rabbit skin to wrap his baby bunting in.
The content of lullabies really varies, and often the baby is a confidant to confession. Singing inward lullabies can be quite mournful or speak of the anxiety and angst of early parenthood, or in the case of nursemaids or women who have had to leave their own children to look after wealthier women's children, of their angst of leaving their own children at home. I just wanted to read a couple of excerpts from Leslie Dakin's The Lullaby Book, which she cites some European lullabies which have some quite interesting lyrics. Some of them are quite weary. For example, this one: "Sleep, my child, for I have much to do. Wash your linen, sit down to sew." That one is from Spain. And the next one is a Venetian lullaby, and it's a little more despairing. "Hush-a-by, but if thou hast not sleep, hear me. Thou hast robbed me of my heart and all feeling. I really cannot think what is your cause for lament, that you are never done lamenting." And the next one, another Spanish one, is just a one-liner and is a little harsher. "Go away, you are not my child, your mother was a gypsy." I don't know whether that's a record of early postnatal depression, perhaps, before it's explained as such. The next lullaby that Alison is going to sing is quite different again. It's called the Jute Mill Song, and it was written by Mary Brooksbank, who was a Dundee textile worker in the early 20th century. She was also a lifelong socialist. And she talks here in this song, sings about the juggling act of women having to bring in an income and you know, live a domestic life and raise family and so on. She talks about the poverty of those women working in the Dundee textiles industry. "The life of the women workers of Dundee right up to the 30s was a living hell of hard work and poverty. It was a common sight to see women, after a long 10-hour day in the mill, running to the stream wash houses with the family washing. They worked up to the last few days before having their bairns. Often they would call in at their work and carry home bundles of sacks to sew. Infant and maternal mortality in Dundee was the highest in the country."
Oh dear me, the mill's going fast, the poor wee shifters cannot get their rest. Shifting bobbins, coarse and fine, they fairly make you work for your 10 and 9. Oh dear me, I wish the day was done, running up and down the path is no fun. Shifting pieces, spinning, warp, weft and twine, to feed and clothe my bairnie decided. I'm as quite contented, dark days are fine. There's no much pleasure living, often 10 and 9.
So with industrialisation and mechanisation, coordinating activity through song became less important because machines provided that role, performed that role. And also the noise of machines was often too great to be heard above anyway. Clog dancing was thought to have originated in the Lancashire cotton mills, with weavers tapping out the rhythms of the machines with their feet, and also it was a way of keeping their feet warm. And by the late 20th century, the 1960s onwards, those narratives recording the experiences, the social and political realities of women's lives and men's lives replaced any sort of synchronising activity types of work songs. And with the women's movement, lots of songs refer to the balancing act of bringing in an income and working to raise children and so on. Peggy Seeger is very closely associated with the women's movement, and she still sings and writes a lot of songs about women's issues. She spent some time at Greenham Common and supported the women there, writing Carry Greenham Home, and she recently sang at Occupy St Paul's. We're just going to finish now with a song that's an adaptation of an early 20th century song, William Brown, which you may recognise, and feel free to join in on the chorus again. It's called Equal Pay Blues.
Patsy Brown was a factory girl. She worked for a wage in a Lancashire mill, turned her wheel from right to left for half the wage of her brother Jeff. The boss one day to Patsy came. He said, "Look here you, what's your name? We're far from pleased with what you do. There's not a chance of equal pay for you, but keep that wheel a-turning. Keep that wheel a-turning. Keep that wheel a-turning if you want to get your equal pay." So Patsy turned the wheel, it flew 3 times round in the place of 2. She turned so hard she was quickly made the champion turner of her trade. Patsy's speed was a national tale. The news appeared in the Mirror and Mail. British Rail ran excursions down, and all to see sweet Patsy Brown. So keep that wheel a-turning. Keep that wheel a-turning. Keep that wheel a-turning if you want to get your equal pay. Patsy burned with a saintly smile. The goods she made grew such a pile. They filled the room and the room next door, and overflowed to the basement floor. But sad the sequel to this tale. She turned out more than her boss could sell. The market fell and the price went down. 7 days more and they sacked Patsy Brown. But keep that wheel a-turning. Keep that wheel a-turning. Keep that wheel a-turning if you want to get your equal pay. So Patsy didn't get her equal pay. She tried to do it the boss's way. She's joined a union and a women's group too, and now she's in the struggle for the equal pay blues. So keep that trouble stirring. Keep that trouble stirring. Keep that trouble stirring if you want to get your equal pay.
Alison and Jessica, thank you so much. That's lovely. Thank you.